Welcome back, everybody, to the final series of the night here for the Gears Pro League Split 2 Phase 1 Day 2. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Jacob MVPR. And man, we got two teams, two titans ready to battle it out. You got eUnited facing off against Rebel. Two teams that suffered some losses yesterday, but two teams I think quickly learned that, hey, we got to improve, and improve they did. I think both of them went to scrimming literally immediately after their loss in Pro League yesterday. Jacob, like you said, it's going to be a banger.
It definitely is going to be a heated matchup. These are two titan of teams, especially Rebel. I do believe they have some inconsistency issues, but I mean, who doesn't at this stage in the game? We're at the very beginning of the season, but like I said, don't act like they left the scene because they've been here better than ever before. Let's break down this eUnited roster, the historic roster of Praized, Xplosive, Kenny, and Powerz. Everybody kept questioning them with the mental leaving. Will TJ fill those shoes with 4v4? There's no more shoes to fill. It's about creating the new and improved eUnited. And so far, what I've seen in recent weeks, they are at the top of their game. I had them #1 in the preseason rankings. They took a hard-fought loss to Hive yesterday. But with Hive being #2 in my book, I don't think that changes things up too much.
No, I mean, eUnited, they suffered a loss yesterday. It is what it is. It was a tough fought battle, but at the end of the day, they obviously learned from it. And I think, like I said, they're going to come back even stronger. Even whenever you think about their match versus, yesterday, the thing about it is, even Colin said it, like, if they wouldn't have made simple mistakes, like if they wouldn't have made those simple mistakes, they would have won. And I stand behind that. I think that's absolutely the truth. We'll see how they're going to play tonight. But of course, we do have Rebel on the other end. And Rebel is a great roster featuring Identivez. Now, of course, Identivez is the easiest one to talk about, right? Coming over from Pittsburgh Knights. He's a legend when it comes to the Latin American scene. But joined by Kardia, Kraken, Demon. And Demon is one that I love watching play. I've been watching him play for quite some time. It's always Demon time when Demon's on the screen. What do you think about him, Jacob?
Hey, man, I love this roster. I got a couple Danny shirts, a couple Danny hoodies sitting in the back. So I'm a big fan of any roster this man lands on. And I said it earlier, there's a couple of inconsistency issues going wrong with this squad. But I do think as #5 on my preseason rankings list, this is going to be a little bit of a closer match that some might think if Rebel shows up to play. We know eUnited is going to be firing on all cylinders like we saw yesterday against that matchup of Hive. It's just, will Rebel show up to play? This is going to come down to the map picks and bans before I give my final prediction going over, because I think either one of these teams can kind of steal it out from underneath the other team if they just sleep on them, even a little bit.
Well, both teams have dominant IGLs without question. And,
yep.
Well, we got to talk about Xplosive. We got to talk about Identivez. And both of these guys go head-to-head, it seems, every single tournament, whether it be E-Days, it be, of course, Pro League, or come into the Major. But you look at those stats, and Xplosive still leads the way. KDA, 2.18, but everything else, pretty much even.
Yep, he's always been a guy that specialized in assists, helping his team out. And even though, yes, he has a great KDA, 2.18, that's not where he excels in Xplosive. He excels as commanding the troops. He's the general of all generals, a 5-star general, if you had to give him a rank, which I know you kind of know about there. And he's going to lead the troops here in this one. Identivez on the other side of things. He was let go of that Pittsburgh Knights roster. I gave my reasons of why I think that was the case. Lands himself on this Rebel roster, and you already seen an uplifted of the other 3 members. I just need to see it as a whole. He can bring a team from something to nothing, or from nothing to something. You already saw it when he went from Ghost Gaming back to that Ronin squad, who was kind of known as the Latin American Ghost roster. Then they went to the Pittsburgh Knights. You saw he was able to do that roster, and he's doing it here again. I just need to know how much more time does he need for them to get into full form?
Well, you did say, man, you're not going to make a prediction just yet. Well, we're going to have to in just a little bit, but you wanted to wait. You wanted to wait until you saw the pick and bans. So let's get right into it. I want to see what maps we're rolling with. Looks like we're going to have District, Foundation, and Vasgar.
I was about to say, if I saw Exhibit in this one, man, we're going to have a quick one. Get ready for dinner here in a short moment. But District, Foundation, and Vascar. I actually like these maps, or at least the first 2 for both of these teams. Rebel's going to have an opportunity for 2 wide open maps that can easily be closed down by a big weapon being placed down. Vascar, though, a game of close quarter combat fights, a game of rotations. If we make it there, Rebel has the momentum on their side. You almost give it up to a coin flip, but if I had to choose now, based on what I've seen so far in E-Days, in Pro League, in scrims, I almost got to go with eUnited in this one. I think think there's too many inconsistencies on the side of Rebel in this one. So I don't know. I want to give it a few more seconds. I want to go ahead and sit on that one for a moment. What do you think about this match?
You know, this is the thing. I think you said it best. There's a bit more inconsistent. Well, you know, honestly, no, I take it back. I think both teams have been pretty wildly inconsistent. I really do. And that's been in emergence days, you know, preseason mainly. You know, even when eUnited was playing as AMC, obviously before United wisely picked them up, they were pretty inconsistent. You know, and I didn't want to come into Split 2 with the same narrative of like, oh, it's eUnited. You know, you got 4 of the best members, you know, playing together. They're going to take every match, you know, and that's why I went with Hive yesterday. You know, Hive again is a team that people slept on, I felt, and now they should be taking them more seriously. You were even saying mini Hives. You didn't sleep on them at all with your power rankings. You know, what am I talking about? But, you know, I'm not coming into Split 2 with the same narrative of, oh, it's eUnited, they're guaranteed a match every single time. Nor am I going to go with the same narrative that, oh, Rebel has Identivez, they're going to take the victory too, you know? So both teams pretty inconsistent, and that reflects why they're both 0-1. But at the end of tonight, one of them is going to get their first victory. Let's go ahead and talk about predictions, though. For me, though, I do have to go with eUnited. And I think eUnited is a wise decision. They can clean up those mistakes from yesterday. I think they're going to be okay. But more importantly, it speaks volumes that immediately after their loss, you saw a tweet out from Kenny saying, look, I'm looking for a scrim. I want to be out there. I want to get better. I want to improve. And he's taking it more seriously than I think he's taken gears in quite some time. Therefore, I'm going with eUnited. But it was hard not to go with Rebel. I can't lie. Jacob, who are you going with?
I mean, I might have kind of spoiled it once or twice while talking to this one, looking at the map selection screen. Even though you kind of said it, both teams are a little bit inconsistent in some ways. I think United's inconsistency come more when they're playing that upper echelon talent. I'm not going to go ahead and sleep on Rebel by any means. I did have them ranked number 5. But from what I saw yesterday, I'm not convinced they're there just yet. Okay. Their loading bar is not up to 100%. I do think eUnited is much more balanced, much more well-rounded on this series of maps. So I do think they're going to take the series overall.
Well, look, both teams have burned you, chat. Both teams have burned you at one point or another.
Not me.
Okay, love them or hate them, but not you.
Yes,
but
me,
hey,
actually, yes, me yesterday.
It was definitely. We all went with Rebel and EU didn't burn me. I went with Hive. Who are you guys going with though? From what I was told, it was pretty close either which way of the fence. So you going with eUnited? Or you going with Rebel? We're going with eUnited. You know what that means, guys. You're not passing me up when it comes to overall. I'm still on top, baby. I'm still on top. Hey,
we're going to gloat forever.
No matter how this series goes, you love to see it. By the way, fun fact, over in the studio, our observer, Tom, he's been kind of spearheading, you know, just the predictions in general. He is actually tied with me, believe it or not. Why would he literally spectates every single game, so it makes sense he has the game knowledge. He's actually tied with me in overall predictions. But all of you guys, including you, chat, all tied with the Magic 8 Ball. I kid you not. They are using, or at least Tom or someone, I don't know who, Wizardry, who's using it over in the studio, but someone is using a Magic 8 Ball who is actually tied with you, Jacob. I don't know what that means. By the way, Magic 8 Ball.
Hey, I have a good day today. I'm 3-0 on the day. This one's, I'm gonna pick up some slack on this one. So I don't know what 8 series overall. We only did 7. I'm about like 4 and 6 right now, 4 and 7 right now. So I'm looking good so far. Not a good first day, but hopefully United can back me up on this one. They had a good intro video for the squad that we saw yesterday, but an intro video would only take you so far. It's up to these 4 guys here and their lovely coach of Rubik's. I want to make sure to give him a huge shout out because he's taking the place of Ash's. Big shoes to fill for a coach.
Yeah, huge. I mean, come on. It's first, you know, mental. You got to fill out mental spot. Now you got to fill out Ash's spot. Like, it's tough, but hey, it is possible. And eUnited, I think they're still in good hands. Crack is going to fall a bit short. Powerz will Lancer him out. Kenny's going to be focused on Kardia over in the other neutral position. And it looks like Powerz is looking to make that fight his own. He's going to push forward. Now, Bravo should go to EU very shortly. But for Rebel, though, they're going to be happy with the 2-to-1 hill advantage that they currently have. Now, I'm curious, Jacob, what is eUnited up to? Are they just trying to go for the OE?
No, they need to make sure they get Kardia out of that window, or else Xplosive going to have a hard time capturing that hill. You can see he gets the decap coming through. Kardia actually gets stuck on right there. Almost missed the shot. Powerz gets taken out. Danny gets taken out as well. Lots of trades going back and forth. That's going to be Kenny leading the charge. That's going to be a big double kill just out of reach for that triple cap domination. Crack gets right back into the hill. He gets down. Is he going to get the kill in time? No, he is not. But Kenny doing wonders for the squad to start off this one for eUnited, as slowly trying to crawl back into this one. This is going to go just a little bit longer as Rebel gets a chance, an opportunity to fight back into this game.
All right, great match already. Scoreline, you know, pretty lopsided over to eUnited, but Rebel fighting tooth and nail, and this is a map that they definitely want to take. Anytime you win your opponent's map pick, right, it gives you that added boost. Oh, big battle, though, look at that, just back and forth over to mantle kick. And at the end, it will be Powerz dropping, as Demon now is looking to advance forward, getting the break onto Charlie. Can't commit, of course, as Kenny's going to have too much map presence there, but because Rebel was able to focus the attention of EU over to the home hill, they are able to secure Bravo, keeping it that much more competitive.
I don't know what Praized was doing right there. Xplosive looking like he was going to back up. Praized is trying to be the hero, ends up with 0 kills there in that situation. Unfortunate for United. It does look like they were doing good, but now it's Rebel's opportunity to try to fight back into this one. Demon's going to back up, try to get a position on his home hill. He knows multiple members of United are trying to stretch over, both Powerz and Kenny. That dynamic duo since kind of Gears 5 official event started, trying to make it happen. Powerz stays his life. No, he does not. He actually goes down. So it's Identivez with a big play opportunity here. Gets both of those, leaving Powerz to kill himself. Puts a ton of damage out on Praized, even getting the down. So he's responsible for 3 quick eliminations here late into this round.
Crack fighting tooth and nail, really trying to hold his own here, but it is going to be a break from Xplosive. Kardia, though, is going to be on the flank. Good movement, and he will take down Xplosive, and that is going to be the round for Rebel. Well done. Great start for eUnited, but at the end, Rebel will take the victory, and that is the start that you would want.
United, it looked like they had so much control in that game, or at least not towards the scoreline, but towards the very end. I do think Praized in one situation there that I noted kind of bite off more than he can chew. I would love to see him set up, try to lance or get his team in position. Unfortunate for him, he got caught between 2 sides in the middle, taken out. So now that weapon selection, quickly that Bull Talk is placed towards the bottom half of the map. And you almost got to think eUnited is 100% going to match them. And that kind of sets up the tone. If a big weapon is being placed towards Bandstand, you see that Bull Talk, Retro, and then eventually possibly that shot grenade to follow, if that is going to be the course each team wants to use.
All right, here we are now going into round number 2. Will we see an answer from eUnited? Again, this was a very hard series for me to make my prediction. I think the hardest one, yours was difficult to go with Riser or F&I. That was kind of easier for me, I guess, but obviously the series was close. But for me, it was hard to bet against Rebel. It really was, but I'm sticking by it. eUnited, let's see if they can hold it down. For Danny, though, he's going to be holding it in over in Bandstand. Looks like he is going to be pressured maybe by Kenny. Now, I think they know he's there. They absolutely know he's there now, as he did fire a shot, but they should be able to at least get the decap.
Nice damage being put out from Kenny here. Reinforcements are coming on the way. They didn't even get a touch on the hill just yet. The eUnited just letting the score rack up on the other side of things, though. Praized has to be careful. He's on the other side of the cover, fighting down over towards Theater. Praized is going to come out on the back end of that one. Crack's going to take him out. Now this fight is so important for eUnited on this side of the map. They have to make sure they win this fight against Rebel, but well-placed both shots from Danny. He's going to put the down on Xplosive. Quickly turning their sights on to Kenny. Lots of damage being dished out. Doesn't look good for United late into this one, but somehow, some way, Xplosive makes it happen. Reinforcements towards the back end. Demon's trying to even things up. Triple cap domination sounding off. This fight's going to be so huge for Rebel. Crack gets the last hope there for him, but Praized gets a huge double kill to keep this one going.
Yeah, Praized keeps it alive, and but Rebel, they're going to have a decent lead, but not so crazy that eUnited is out of it just yet. So there is an opportunity for them to turn the page, or at least turn the tides of the round. But Praized, it's going to end a bit short. He's going to drop off. But for Xplosive, he finds an opportunity to get on B and get that full cap. And by lancering out Crack, it's going to alleviate that pressure. So he'll be able to get away. But Crack isn't going to let this go. He is able to down Xplosive. Actually, Demon was able to down him from the distance. And just like that, Rebel retakes control. I am liking what I'm seeing from Rebel, man. They are all over the map. They're moving as one cohesive unit. And I got to say, I'm a bit worried about my prediction at this point.
I'm just as worried as you, man. This can't happen again. eUnited need to figure out a way to stop the bleeding, but Rebel's just moving too quickly right now. Just to be clear of an eye, these guys are just all over the place. Another player finds himself in a 1v2 situation in Kenny. The down coming through. Kenny trying to do what he can. He does get taken out. Powerz saving the day again, but if you look at the score, it's kills over hills time. No time to stop and get these captures. You have to continue to press forward.
Powerz going in, and this is not looking good for eUnited, but hey, the optic special is still very real, right? And it's always been a thing, regardless who they're representing. But Demon, though, shuts down Powerz, and one less man on the map, especially when you're trying to pull off heroics of going in for a domination, makes your chances of getting it that much slimmer. Kenny, oh, too tough. He's in a 2v1. You can't expect him to make it out of there, regardless of how good he is. And for added insurance, hey, for Rebel, they'll go ahead and send Danny over. He's going to be capturing home hill to home hill. It's over with. Rebel, they're going to take this win. But hey, good job from eUnited keeping it close. But Rebel is just looking way too good. Honestly, in all regards, whether it be slaying, rotations, objective, they are doing it all and making it look easy.
And this is the Rebel I was expecting to see yesterday against Elevate. They really do have no respect for my predictions. And honestly, I'm getting a little ticked off. But, you know, all jokes aside, though, Identivez leading this team to success against a historic squad in eUnited. This next weapon selection is going to be huge. You see the talent placed up top. You almost got to think eUnited is going to match it. To me, that shows that they're ready for balanced gameplay. They're ready for any big weapon to be placed towards the top side, towards the low side. But they're also ready to continue exactly what they're doing. I don't think Rebel is going to be the team to put that big weapon down unless they start losing consecutive rounds.
Whew, this is getting scary now, eUnited. It's time to stop playing around, step it up. This is your map pick, and honestly, this is a great map for your team. But Rebel is being way more aggressive, and because of that aggression, man, eUnited is struggling to keep up, which is funny, right? You go back a couple of seasons ago, this roster would not be struggling with aggression, but it seems as if Rebel is just a step above them. But overextension in place, and no, Praized already gets Lancered out, but Demon is going to be at the forefront. So is Danny. Can the break still happen? You got 3 members from eUnited, so surely they'll be able to get this capture.
Just need to make sure you can't take too much damage here. I don't know what eUnited is doing. They're just getting greedy for these situations. Praized gets taken out. Luckily for them, fractions of seconds here separate these two teams. But if you look at where the setup is at, it's Rebel set up to retake their home hill at a moment's notice. They just need to be careful. 2v2 fight going down on that side of things. Danny and the rest of his team taking advantage of eUnited. Danny does go down on the other side of the map, but Demon cleans that one up. As long as they keep this hill neutralized, they'll have a second lead, and it'll force eUnited into these positions to make moves.
Big battle on Bravo, though, also underway, and player 8 is going to fall short. Praized was Lancered out. He's finished off. Rebel continues to keep that lead, especially with Crack also getting that elimination just a little bit earlier. So, hey, let's see what eUnited can do. Again, they're constantly trying to fight back, right? Rebel is the one who's in control. They're in the driver's seat, and eUnited is that passenger slowly trying, or I say slowly, but really in failed attempt after failed attempts to try and take over the steering wheel. Again, Rebel, I can't say enough. They're just looking great. eUnited, once again, though, going for that overextension. Demon, though, is at the forefront looking to shut them down. He'll go ahead and back off, and this is where Danny's going to be able to Lancer out. But Demon is getting pressure. Powerz knows, look, we cannot allow him to continue to hit shots, but they don't have a choice. Danny shuts down Powerz. Praized is also in a tough spot. He should be dropping off shortly. And just like clockwork, Rebel regains control.
I don't know if eUnited here in terms of strategy are adhering to CDC guidelines with 6 feet apart, but they're not working together. It's like they're quarantining from one another, and it's not working out. Rebel is working as a complete wolf pack here to take over this game. Kardia going for the triple cap domination. Somebody from eUnited is down in spawn. Powerz goes down as well. Demon once again trying to be the hero for the team, gets the elimination, gets the revive. Even though this might look like it goes eUnited's way on this home hill, the score is so far out of reach. It's kills over hills. You need to play perfect.
Okay, well, Rebel still with that 2-1 hill advantage. And again, this is the 3rd time they have tried to go for the OE. Granted, now they have to, right? Now they absolutely are forced to go in, and it falls a bit short once again. And that should be the round here. Unless, I mean, Xplosive, IGL can pull off a historic play. Kenny does get the break onto B, but they can't stay put. They can't even go for the full cap. They've got to rotate over to A, and as Xplosive falls, he's on all 4s. There's just not enough time. Rebel, they're going to be leading 3-0, and eUnited has to figure out a way to battle against this roster. And honestly, a power weapon seems to be the only thing.
Yeah, this is not looking like the debut week that eUnited was hoping to have with this stacked roster of sorts. Even I had them number one, but this is why they were preseason predictions. All of it up until that point was kind of just practice, and it's all get thrown out the window because now with the time is on, the pressure is on for both of these teams. You can really see what some of these teams are made of. 3-0, we've seen it all day long. So hard to come back from. I think maybe we've seen it once today, but that drop shot finally making its appearance. I told you, it wasn't going to be Rebel putting that weapon down. It is going to be eUnited. And when push comes to shove, I say you got to put that big weapon down for a shoddy heavy fight, and that's exactly what they're looking to do.
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen, but this is the thing. Rebel's been winning their fights more consistently, so even though eUnited has to place that, and again, they have to. But what is that? You allow Danny to get it. Now, Demon could fall here. This actually could be good. Powerz will get a cleanup onto 2, but it was a little bit scary just to allow him to pick up that drop. And I believe it was backpack, if I'm not mistaken. So the drop shot should be out of the way. Now it's up to eUnited to make this play theirs. They're going to be on the OE. Player 0 Explosive now is going to rotate back to B. eUnited sticking it. They want this domination.
Praized gets taken out, like you said, sticking it. Powerz is being a huge distraction. Demon able to take him out, but not able to touch the hill in time. So as the half ends, it's led 3-1 by Rebel. Late into that one, eUnited finally showing some life, but like I said, as it switches side, you saw it clear as day. United baiting those members of Rebel in towards that drop shot. Got to wonder, what will Rebel do to change things up? And what new strategy will eUnited employ? Because I don't think they're going to let that one go easy.
So they put themselves in a position, Jacob, to win this next round. That's a swing round, puts them right back into the game, okay? It gets scary, especially when the opposite team reaches that number 4, right? Reaches that 4-round wins. Drop shot did play a factor, obviously, and it will continue to play a factor. But we do have that hammer burst onto the side of Rebel, and they also have the retro. Now, the hammer burst isn't going to play an effect unless the round continues into mid-game. Awesome. And eUnited isn't able to get a domination. But again, you mentioned, how does Rebel respond? Do they go in for that quick pick once again? Do they try to get out? Because they were close to getting out, right? If it wasn't for Danny falling, they could have got out. Now, Demon is going to be taking Danny's position. Oh, bit of a miss roll. What are you doing? Praized will make you punish for that. And Praized now is going to continue forward. Drop shot, non-factor. And he is looking to end this quickly. And I think
that was a nice angle.
Going for blood. They want the domination.
You saw that little angle to the left that Crack hit him with? He pulls out the Lancer first. He almost wins that battle against Praized, but just in case he did have some backup there. It was actually flipped around. Powerz almost taking that one. Praized does have that drop shot in hand. Players pushing him left and right. First one's going to go out, unable to connect, but it did find a ton of damage on Kardia. But Praized, he's struggling to get up those ramps. He can't take advantage just yet, but luckily his teammate did keep him full red. But now it does look like Praized might be getting taken advantage of. Luckily, he did get the trade before getting taken out. Explosive keeps the numbers on their side as well. So eUnited looking good at the start of this round.
Yeah, and this big fight, though, is really going to set you up nicely for the mid-game. And we're still technically, I wouldn't say in the initial, but a little bit past that, but no one's been able to gain control. You can see that eUnited only has about a 10-point lead. That can fall to the wayside very quickly. But Player 9 will rotate back. He'll get the home hill. And the battle for the neutral is going to be underway once again. Now, for Rebel, they do have the man advantage. It's going to be a 3v2, and Powerz looking to even up the odds. And he will not. He gets Lancer down, but Danny's also down. Kardia is going for the pickup. Oh, but Powerz is also getting picked up too. This is going to be once again a big fight. Demon coming from the flank and picks up a couple, but he's dropped 2. Jacob, what is going on? Will Rebel get control? But now you have another one who's also going to be there. That is Explosive, and finally he drops, and Rebel will win the neutral. But what a fight.
That looked like it could have gone either way, and almost every 50-50 went in way of Rebel. And now they're wasting no time trying to solidify this triple cap domination. Kenny doing what he can, so is Powerz. You've seen this dynamic duo in action before. Powerz gets taken out. Kenny falls as well. Now Rebel is on map point, one step away from securing a map 1 victory and just completely dominating eUnited. Somebody put an extra quarter in the machine because eUnited needs some life.
And I knew that mid battle was going to be everything, right? At that point, no one was really gaining control. Like eUnited, they had the 2-1 hill advantage after, I believe it was Explosive who rotated back to capture their own home hill. But that fight for E was everything. That mid battle was so crazy. But Rebel was able to take it. And that right there put them ahead. Both teams were committing, what, at least 3 or 4 members in that mid fight. Whoever won that was destined to take that win. So well done from the side of Rebel. They're not slowing down, and EU isn't doing anything to battle against them.
Yeah, but I almost wonder there. Praized early on in that round, I do believe, got damaged with the drop shot, ended up having to trade in order to continue on getting that kill. You need to make sure when you get this drop shot in hands that you just put it to use. You only get one of them this time around, so it matters so much more than ever before, even though it is already a power weapon. But Power's going to open up this one for us, getting first blood, but getting trade back and forth. Danny able to get taken out as well, gets one with Crack, but Crack finds his demise. Revive's coming through. Draken's down again. He's out of lives here, and he will be out of dodge, but Xplosive not letting this one slip through. They're going deep into the spawn of Rebel. They need to be careful here, not bite off more than they could chew, because Rebel spawning up with spawn shield can easily flip the switch and eliminate multiple members of eUnited. Just like that, you see Praized and Xplosive fall.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that I think in just the moment they wanted to commit to it. Was it the best play? Probably not. If they walk away with it, you know, it could have been huge, but it wasn't it. Drop shot's going to be out. Crack will lose his life. That's going to put it now to a 1v1 against Kardia. Again, he's going to go in and use the cover as best as he possibly can. Now, for eUnited, they only have about a 20-point lead. They will have the 2-to-1 hill advantage, but they're getting aggressive. You can really see the fire in their eyes. Look at how far they're already pushed up, trying to push back Kardia. But this Lancer fire hurts, and actually Kenny will fall.
I feel like eUnited in scrims, they must be like dominating scrims or something right now, because it looks like they weren't prepared for this type of resistance to come out of Rebel. And Rebel just doing a great job taking a bad day number one against Identivez, what some thought they should have taken the series, to turning this one around, to taking out one of the top dogs in the scene. This is how you start off a season for the Pro League. 2 hills over towards Rebel. They just need to hold on towards these hills. They don't need to make any daring moves, but they need to make sure it is uncontested if they're looking to come back.
Yeah, and Rebel's just going to hold on to this. Like you said, they're not going crazy with it. eUnited spread across the map, trying to gain some numbers, but Rebel has met up with that. So we could see some 1v1s. That Lancer fire is just, man, Demon is playing so well, whether it be support role or just up close. He really is the X factor for this roster. And again, we always talk about, you know, Identivez and maybe even, you know, Kardia and Crack, but like Demon is just such a talented player. Now 1v1 against Praized. And again, if he wins this, right, that just puts Rebel that much more ahead. And looks as if he's going to go in and back off, but good spacing, great experience, and F is going to go to them.
I'm going to need to see more out of Praized here in this series. I'm not impressed so far from what I'm seeing. Crack gets it down himself. Kardia gets that drop shot, but Xplosive gets the big play to take him out. I don't know if it was backpacked. I don't know if it was burned, but Danny has an opportunity to pick it up if it was. It does look like it is going to be back. Crack is still alive? Crack is still alive, and he doesn't even, what? Demon, 16, 13, 11 deaths. Domination coming in. 7's going to be there. He's chunked. It's over. Rebel wins 5-1. eUnited's map pick here on District falls very short. And I mean, there's no other way to put it. At least for District, eUnited didn't even put up a fight, Jacob. They didn't even put up a fight. Rebel just absolutely hands down looked like the better team that map. Almost the entire way through. It looked like whether it was aggressive plays, Lancer plays, time and time again. I even saw players from Rebel baiting the players from eUnited in and completely Lancering them down. This is a Rebel that I've never seen before, and this is a Rebel I didn't expect to see, but man, am I excited to see this level of competition. Yeah, you know, when you say level of competition, again, it's only for Rebel. Like, they just, man, I'm really genuinely blown away with how well they just look. They've been very inconsistent, without question. I think both rosters have been very inconsistent, but for Rebel, they cleaned it up. And you know, maybe it was that tweet from Shock to Identivez, man, and Identivez, you know, answering back and saying, "Look, man, GG's, you just played better." That was probably the most grounded answer I've seen him give, and I think that was just him saying, like, "Look, I get it. Like, we just need to play better," and play better they did. Tough loss. We're heading into Foundation Rebels map pick, and I don't think it's going to be any different. I really don't. Yeah, and honestly, I like what you said. Identivez really taking accountability. Like you said, you guys played better. And honestly, that's step one. I say for a lot of these teams, a lot of these players, no matter what game you're playing, you need to take accountability for how you're playing, for your actions in the game, for your attitude, whatever it may be. You can't just chop up an excuse for everything under the sun. If your game, barring some situations, yes, if your game really came down to one shot one bit of one opportunity, then honestly, there's a little bit more of your gameplay that you need to work on than just, you know, possibly losing a round number 9. Because I wouldn't be happy with necessarily winning a round number 9. I want to win convincingly. I want to take the scene by storm, but that's just me. That's just how I approach these situations.
Yeah, 100%. You know, this is, if eUnited loses this match, like it's going to be a tough split for them. It really is. And I think more so not because of the competition, but I think for the mentality. You know, you have, again, 4 very decorated players who, you know, lost yesterday to Hive. And you know, again, Hive has been a very talented team, and they've been beating them in E-Days and whatever. But like, did you ever, like, even last split, like, you know, oh, eUnited versus Hive? Like, no, you go with eUnited all day, right? Hive just wouldn't beat them. But now that they're getting beat by Hive, now they're getting beat by Rebel, which, you know, again, 2 phenomenal teams. It is going to be a wake-up call. Now, granted, though, hey, look, Fire and Ice lost 5-0 on Harbor, only to come back and win game number 3, win the series just a bit earlier over that of Rise. So eUnited, absolutely still the case. They lose 5-1. It's not going to let them affect them. It's just, they're going to stay cool and collected, man. You know, so Foundation's going to be an interesting one. But do you think it plays like District at all?
In some ways, yes, but there's different opportunities. On District, there's a lot of open, especially towards the top half of the map. Players, it's not as easy to slip by. So even though Foundation, there's a lot of open passageways, mid-ramp, down underneath towards the tunnel, it's easier for these players to slip by, easier for these players to sneak around. So even though the overall gameplay plays similar, there's opportunities that just aren't there on a map like District. And if I'm looking at a team like eUnited, these changes to 4v4, man, you can kind of see the weaknesses start to get exposed. There's no more of that safety net of 5v5, no more lanes being able to be watched securely, players slipping by, and those 1v1 scenarios mean so much more than ever before. You get caught out of position, teams will take advantage, and they'll take a mile.
Well, here it is, man. Map number 2 loading up. Potentially the last map. Now, I want to stress, if eUnited loses this next map, that means they are currently 0 for 4 in maps. That is not a start that they wanted. And I mean, to put it plainly, Rebel could have also been in that same situation if they wouldn't have won this. They would have been 0 for 3, right? So this is one to kind of, you know, break the mold, if you will. Both teams, both 0 and 1, was still very early in split 2. So many more series to take place throughout this entire split. It's very well from being over. But hey, it comes down to Foundation. Will we see a map number 3? Jacob, take it away.
I hope we do see a map number 3. It's been a great time casting these Gears of War action so far, but both of these teams starting off hot, 2-2, and then that backup to make it a 1-2 or a 2-1-1 of sorts. But Demon's gonna be the first player out towards middle. He finds his opposition in Xplosive. Xplosive taking a ton of damage. He got taken out early. First blood going back and forth, but it does gonna be eUnited losing a few more of those members, but it's actually Powerz and Kenny saving the day again. Anytime it's somebody on the squad saving the day, more times than not, it's Powerz himself.
And now this is a big 1v1 between Kardia as well as Kenny. And Kardia's got to hold his own here, but he ends up losing it. So now that hill is going to be won. He went for the 08, not successful. Now for player 5, looking like it goes, but it's actually going to be Praized. He's heading over, and now you got Rebel trying to hold off their own home hill. Ooh, that was the break. Danny ended up getting that down, but in the end, it was EU coming through big. Round 1, absolutely going their way. 56 seconds. This gives me hope.
I just hope we see a very consistent Rebel putting up a fight here throughout the entirety of this matchup. You kind of hit the nail on the head saying that it was a 5-0 domination between Rise and F&I to kind of start that one, or it was a 5-1, and F&I completely bounced back, and they were a huge powerhouse the remaining 2 maps. Rebel have to shut that down, or any hope of that happening for eUnited, and they have to shut it down early. That first round was quick going over to eUnited, but the second round is another chance at making that possible for Rebel.
All right, here we are, and let's see those Botox be put to work. For Rebel, though, back to the drawing board they go. They got to figure something out, but that slaying power, that teamwork, right, from eUnited in that round 1 was absolutely pivotal for taking the victory. And we'll get to see a little bit more of that. Though the smokes are out, man, that's making things chaotic, and this is going to be an opportunity for Powerz now to cut to the inside. He's going to blindside Crack, hits the first shot, hits the second, takes him down. Explosive was there for the cleanup if Powerz ended up falling, but Demon finds a way to break through, and he's going to be trying to pressure back Praized, but oh, a bit of a miss, but maybe what a bait and switch. switch. Danny comes from the side, blindsides Praized, takes him down. His Kardia now, he will drop. But luckily, Danny, as well as his teammate, I believe that was Demon, was able to go through, take over Charlie. But let's see if they can recover here. Some big fights still to come.
Powerz gets caught slipping, didn't watch that right corner. Rebel holding on to the other side of the map for so long, finally winning their own home hill back, but that's going to be 2 hills on over to them as B is in eUnited's favor. It's only for so long as you see Rebel already putting their eyesight on that hill, so it's going to come down to this home hill for both eUnited and Rebel. Will this match continue, or will this round end right here in favor of Rebel? Quick 2 kills coming through for Demon, looking for a third as he sets his eyes on Xplosive. He does find himself getting down, unable to be cleaned up just yet, but finally it comes through. 3rd kill for Demon and 1st round for Rebel as they tie it up 1 round apiece.
And you know, Demon and Danny were working hand in hand during that push. I love the fact that Demon took matters into his own hands. He went up ramp. He was pushing the home hill of eUnited. But even before he got to the home hill, right, just pushing up ramps to fountains, that bait and switch, the mantle over, I thought was a mistake, but it was calculated because it distracted his the enemy opponent that he was going against. And Danny was able to slide in with the bait and switch and get the chunk, and that opened the door wide open to head over to tree and lock in that hill. Very well done. Good communication and a brilliant play, if I had to say so myself. Hammer burst on one end. On the other end, you've got the retro. Take your pick for which one you like. They both hit hard.
Yep, you can already see where the strategy lies for both of these teams. Eventually, that'll be upgraded to an instant or shot grenade, depending on what they prefer. And then they'll start building up that second half, barring any big weapon placements to come through. You still got a 2-1-1 strategy for both of these teams. Both teams kind of favoring that underneath where B is at. That smoke doing a big part of this one. You saw Demon early on take control of that middle. This time around, it's Powerz, and he gets a first blood as well. Praized gets a second. I can see a 3rd one in their line of sight as Demon gets taken out as well. And if you blinked, you might have missed it. 3 quick kills for United.
Now, Kardia's going to try and go on the inside, but is he going to be successful in doing so? He won't. He's going to be retroed out, actually, from Kenny. Heads up play on his part. So, eUnited knows, hey, we don't need to commit any more to this. We're a little bit weak in numbers. Let's just go ahead and allow Rebel to respawn back up, and then we'll shut them down one by one when we see where they're allocating their numbers. So, at this point in time, eUnited, they win the initial. They've got the 2-1 hill advantage, and Rebel is very quickly already going for the overextension. Crack's going to take a peek. He's going to back off, right? He doesn't want it as of yet, but very shortly, we might see player 7 join in the mix. If I had to guess, Jacob, probably going to be going into a 2v2, not only for B, but also for A.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me right now is that retro on the home hill versus where that hammer burst is located. Nowhere. So that's going to be a big advantage for Kenny on the home hill. You already seen him getting that big down on Crack, letting him bleed out along with the help. I do believe that might have been Praized. Sets his target on Demon, making him back up. The rest of Rebel being flurried around. Big play from Identivez to take out Powerz, but it's matched, traded out by Praized. Now, when it comes towards this underneath fight, it does look like eUnited is going to go ahead and continue the aggression, taking out Kardia as well, holding on to that 2 hill and the point lead as well. So it's going to be up to Rebel here late into this game to make 1 great push if they wait long enough, or 2 semi-good pushes if they go now.
Okay, here we are. eUnited still in control. Rebel, though, they're going to fight tooth and nail to try and retake control, but that's not the start. With Danny falling down, him being finished off, that's going to lessen the chances of Rebel winning this round. So most likely going to be looking at a 2-1 in favor of eUnited. The overextension for player 7, Demon, he gave it a good go. It's a 1v2. It's going to be a tough fight to win. So at this point, Jacob, eUnited pretty much has it in the bag, unless they can somehow get over towards A, but I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either. Nobody is even able to slip by. They're too busy with this 2v2 on the home hill. United doesn't even care about the capture. They get those eliminations. That is definitely going to be enough. Even though Kardia, with his last-ditch effort towards the back end, has an opportunity at the hill, he's not going to even get close. And United taking a page out of the F&I playbook, 2 straight rounds in map number 2, looking to go ahead and close this one out and force a map number 3. But we still got a ton of rounds left into this one, a ton of strategy and a whole nother half.
Yeah, it's not even close to being finished at this point. I mean, you already see the box score there at the end. They've been trading off rounds 1, 1, and 1. So We follow the same history, at least. We'll see Rebel answer back and tie it up 2-2. But we do have those instants now. That's going to set up very nicely for Statue. And I think that's the direction we're going, right? They both teams built up for that Statue fight. But at least for Danny, he says, look, we're okay with having the Hammer Burst. We don't need the instant as of yet. For this round, at least, let's go ahead and use the Hammer Burst because it's going to be better to have that firepower to lock in home hill to home hill as opposed to the instant, which is great. But the impact is lessened, especially if you're not fighting for that power weapon on the Statue.
The only problem here is right now is Identivez stopped to get that bull talk. Two members of eUnited went underneath, and they're immediately taking his side of the map. So Rebel has to be careful here with their rotations, where they choose to go and how they choose to do it. eUnited, Kenny, with a perfect instant grenade from the top. You got to give all the credit in the world who gave him that mark, who gave him that information to get the kill. Cracked is being forced back, trying to get as much damage out as possible, but 2v1, the numbers are too much. And now that finds another member in a 1v3 situation. eUnited, you give them an inch, they will take a mile, and that's going to lead to a possible 3-1 victory as Demon gets taken out. Triple cap domination sounding off once more. No one even close enough to get the touch, and there goes that 3-1 scoreline to end the half.
Yeah, that's the first time a team has been able to chain together 2 rounds in a row. eUnited back in it, and game 3 might be on the horizon shortly. Hey, we're seeing a lot of great plays from Rebel, but it seems eUnited is really starting to come into their own. And, you know, sometimes they are a slower team to get the ball rolling. But hey, no excuses for them on District. They absolutely got destroyed. But of course, it is a different map entirely. This is Rebel's map pick, right? So you would think they would be benefited here. But no power weapon as of yet. We now have instants and Boltox up top. So both teams are very happy with how the fights are going.
I don't understand the Boltox placement early on by Rebel, especially since they're going to kind of put those weapons down anyway. I would like to see an instant off that second round, but I digress. Ooh. Great instant towards the back line. Going to catch Powerz off guard, but it's not where it needs to be as Powerz takes advantage of the mispositioning from Crack. Bad attempt at that up A kill. That hill going over towards eUnited once they choose to backtrack and they can get that early lead on over towards their side. But if you look at what Rebel's doing, they're just trying to get that information, figure out where these players of eUnited are going to set up from. That way, when Crack does come out of respawn, they know exactly where to go.
Danny, utility in hand, looking to push in onto Powerz. Crack is going to be just to his right, maybe locking in streets, keeping at least that player from EU at bay. But I say that he gets dropped, and now Danny's going to be in a 1v1, and that's a big win, right? I mean, at this point in time, eUnited already in control with the 2-1 hill advantage. Now you're shutting down player after player. Kenny, huge position, but he's going to be shut down. But hey, that's why you have teammates. Power's going to be on the flank, and these are going to be some big cleanups. Oh, might not happen, actually. Rebel's coming through, and that is a huge loss. Power and Explosive drop Kenny as well. Praise last one up.
I would like to see Powerz just keep laying those bricks, as you know Praized does time and time again. Gets a little too close, and he pays for it in the end. Luckily for them, they have about a 40-point lead, give or take a few points, so they have an opportunity here to answer back, but a well-placed flash grenade. Kenny just risked his life to get this positioning. He does have backup coming through from Xplosive. He's going to be able to solidify that kill, so that 40-point lead is being dwindled down just a little bit, but they have positioning on over towards Statue. They could easily get this break, but they're going to have to backtrack for it. It's going to be Kenny getting that break, but the rest of the members of Rebel wasting no time giving up one heal just so they could take the other.
Oh, this has been such a great round. So back and forth, and both teams at this point, they're just going off of muscle memory and just sending numbers just as quick as they can to either for the overextension or for the neutral. And every battle is massive, especially with the scoreline being as close as it is. Identivez, though, huge position to pick up a 1v2. He makes his hero play. That's going to put Rebel potentially in the driver's seat. Gets the down onto Explosive, but of course, EU will take that away. But Rebel is getting the neutral. There was the fight on B, and Kenny ended up losing it to player number 8, and that was Crack. So well done from them. So at this point in time, eUnited, there for the first time in this round number 5, are going to lose the point lead. Rebel, they take the positioning, and when it matters most, EU, they need to gain control quickly.
And I would love to see Praized kind of save that grenade, especially since they had Powerz flanking towards the middle. Imagine how much of a difference that would make this stage of the game. But Powerz continuing the aggression, trying to make sure to solidify this kill on Kardia. But Kardia somehow lands a big shot on Powerz. Almost lands a big one on Explosive as well. Late in the game, Rebel does have 2 hills. Powerz can't stop here, but he needs to assess the situation. That neutral getting decapped as well. Kills over hills for eUnited. They have to start winning these eliminations, but almost everybody in this moment gets taken out, including including Xplosive. Big kills by Danny late in the game to solidify that round. One step closer to tying it up, but it's still 3-2. eUnited still edge out a round ahead.
And I hate to put it on one player, but Kenny in those moments, like he had a chance to effectively lock in that round for eUnited. Now, the first chance was versus Crack, and that was on the neutral. That's tough, though. I think he was getting lancered out. We didn't see his perspective, but I had to assume he was getting lancered out. He was weak, and then he got chunked. But there was a very real moment where he could have locked in the home hill for eUnited. Demon pushed him through Pistons, came up that ramp, and Kenny ended up losing that fight to Demon. And that was when Demon then retook that home hill of eUnited. That kept the lead in Rebels' possession. If Kenny wins that fight, does eUnited win the round? Maybe not, but it would have put them in a much better position. So Kenny needs to win those 1v1s, whether they be against Crack or against Demon. But again, well done from Demon. He continues to play well. eUnited still with the lead, but Rebel slowly starting to encroach on that lead, and who knows, they might take it after this round, or at least tie it.
Crack. Almost perfect with that utility, throwing it a fraction of a second late, but Powerz bouncing around, showing why he's MVP caliber time and time again. Anytime he steps on the sticks, I said step on the sticks, I didn't know what to say there, but Powerz and Kenny working together to solidify that elimination on Identiv. Second hill is going to go in their favor. eUnited beginning to piece it together, and just like Fire and Ice, like we said, it's looking like deja vu all over again.
It definitely is. Well, let's see what eUnited is going to be up to. Can they hold on to control? Rebel, I mean, hey, they've been doing pretty good stuff. Now, Powerz is going to be in a great position. He sees it. He goes for it now. I think he's going to get Lancer down here. I can't believe he got away. He's still alive, but Rebel's not going to let him get away easily. Still, Powerz is going to fight it out. Great shot onto one, but Crack will shut him down. Now, Rebel's on the OE. 7 is going to get the break. No, excuse me. He's going to have to fight against Praized, but Praized ends up falling short. So the break will be there, but eUnited is also going to be on the home hill of Rebel. So lots of moving pieces, but the 2-1 hill advantage for Rebel, but how long can they hold on?
I'm like, was Praized down there? Did he get his soul taken? I thought he was secret manning there for a moment to try to get that big kill as the rest of the members come off a respawn to re-solidify their home hill, keeping it under their control. As you see Kenny on the other side of the map, wasting multiple members' time. Unfortunate for him, goes for a one-shot kill, taken out by both Kardia and Danny. So it looked like 2 hills in favor of eUnited. Is going to go right back on over towards Rebel, rightfully so. They got a little bit of coming back to do, but every time I say that, Xplosive once again switching on over these hills. Even though he's not going to get the capture, he's going to keep the lead ticking on over for eUnited.
Okay, eUnited still with that lead, as you said. Rebel very close to striking back, and again, they've been known to do that in the previous couple of rounds. Maybe they're starting to get their feet underneath them. They were struggling at the beginning, but they've been looking better and better as the rounds do progress forward. Eunited, though, making a big push. Praized onto Kardia. Kardia will drop. Crack's going to be there for the pickup, though. Finishes need to occur. One on the flank. Praized will pick up the front. Powerz will get the back, and now that's going to leave eUnited to overextend over towards Delta to lock that in place. Of course, player 9 keeps the game alive, and that's going to be Identivez. He'll be locking in the home hill of eUnited. Still a lot of moving pieces. Nobody able to gain control, but eUnited does have that 2-1 hill advantage. They'll take the lead once again, but they're not going to be able to hold on for long. Look at this 2-1 on Praized.
He just needs to waste time. He has a little bit of help. He has a retro lancer. This is extremely doable on the side of Praized. He only gets it down, though. Bites off more than he could chew. I would like to see him, like I said, in that situation, players just need to stay alive. 2 players over there wasting all that time, but 2 hills over for eUnited. They have about a 10-second score lead. They need to stay alive. Great well-placed incense from Xplosive as they're looking to hold on defensively. One player sneaks by, but he's going to make nothing of it. So continued 2 hills for eUnited late into the game is going to put them on match point, or a map point, I should say, one step closer to forcing a tiebreaker map.
Still, though, I'm holding my breath. Is it possible for Rebel to retake control? Surely not. 5 seconds, and yeah, they'll hold on. So well done from eUnited. But that was a battle through and through, especially in that mid to late game. It was just Rebel taking control, eUnited taking control, and just back and forth like a tennis match. 4-2. Like you said, eUnited looking to send it to a game 3. And I knew they weren't going to go down without a fight. But I would say, after District, though, is looking a bit shaky. But will Rebel be able to catch up? Again, these rounds are so close. They can absolutely go to the way of Rebel if one fight goes their way, right? If one engagement doesn't go well for eUnited, Rebel takes control once again. So every moment, every fight matters. Ensigns are gone.
Yep. And it's kind of been the special for a lot of these teams. Once you win that 4th round, you lock down one of the big power weapons that the enemy team has at their disposal. And once that happens, you're almost forced to answer back unless you're Rise and you have tricks up your sleeve in terms of the long game. But with only Retros being on the field, it's kind of down to those early rounds. This is where Rebel has a chance, and they need to take advantage of this opportunity.
Okay, Powerz, big fight now onto Demon. Demon's been playing lights out, so it's not going to be an easy 1v1 by any means, and especially with them getting peppered by Danny from the back. Yeah, it's just going to be that much harder. Kenny tries to help him out, but now they're going to be pincered. Xplosive does come through, and he's looking to make this good. IGL going big, but is going to be dropped in the end. Now, Kenny, he really can't get out of this situation. He's forced to find any cover that he can, but he's got to go back in. He's got to try and even up the odds here. Great shot on the Kardia, but eventually he will drop off. Rebels going in for the domination. Powerz looking to try and back crack off. Is he going to be successful?
Nope. Shut down by Crack. As you see, Xplosive, the last hope. How long does that spawn shield last, Xplosive, bro? You know something we don't there for a moment. But Praized, he meets that same fate. Nobody able to even get close. And there goes one step closer to Rebel tying this one up. They still have a little bit more coming back to do, but putting a stop to the momentum, putting a stop to those consecutive rounds is going to be huge on the side of Rebel. They have that map cushion, so it's not over if they somehow lose this map, but getting one step closer, neutralizing that lock that was placed down early on. Now they have a fighting chance.
Okay, here we are. See a little bit more. Now my question is, does Rebel start to really lock this in place? Now, the thing is, they really have nothing to lose. Again, they know they're guaranteed a 3rd map if they lose this. eUnited doesn't have that guarantee, right? They don't have the guarantee. And even if they're at round number 4, they don't have the guarantee that they are going to send it to a game 3. So they have everything to lose. Rebel has really everything to gain. It won't be the same case in map number 3, but at least in this moment, Rebel, there's not a lot of pressure on their shoulders as opposed to EU. But we'll see how it does turn out. And sends Retros Shock, though, onto the side of Rebel. Curious to see how that'll impact.
Yeah. On the other side of things, like you said, every 60 seconds, that Retro, if they can find a way to get multiple Retros out on the field with good enough ammo capacity to keep it going, that's going to be very, very dangerous for Rebel. That fight against Instant Grenade towards the top side of the map, forcing him to crack off of that cover, and it's working out for him, facilitating him. And that's going to be a big kill from Powerz. Praized on the other side of the map is going to get a big kill as well. So eUnited piecing it together. They want to force this map number 3. They're done playing on Foundation at this point.
Oh, 100%. This map, they're like, man, it should have been over long ago. I love the fact that Praized is getting so aggressive with that retro. It plays such a huge role, especially if he can somehow get behind that cover and just pepper them as they're coming off the respawn. But now he's isolated. He's taken down. Rebel stays alive. Player 2's there to try and maybe even up the odds, but the meat shield's there. Powerz is going to be a hard win. Crack takes him down. Well done on his part. But not only that, Rebel also went for the OE. So they're going to allocate eUnited's resources back onto F, and now they're going to try their hand on E.
I don't understand the OE, because after you're getting these eliminations, eUnited's got to guess that OE is coming. You go for that neutral knowing these people are all for respawn, got a long way to travel. Finally, they go a little late, but it's seemingly working out for them in the end. Only one down coming through on Demon from the side of Kenny. Players towards the top side, but Kenny has to be careful. 2 players are trying to push up on him. He's trying to dish out the damage, but Demon lands a great shot. Powerz doing what he can to take out Crack. Praized meets his demise by 3 members of Rebel. It looked like they were going to choose to leave him down there for a moment. I almost wanted to see that one come through, but they somehow get past. Powerz, to be exact, extends the round as he takes over Rebel's home hill. So now they have to figure out which hills they want to go after here in way of a comeback.
Oh, good kill for Kenny on the Kardia. So again, takes off any amount of pressure, right? That's going to be hugely beneficial. And now he's going to be able to push up with Praized to pressure back Demon. Now, Demon has been playing well again. But is he going to be able to win this 1v2? It could have a tremendous impact. Won't happen. Now it's up to player 2 Powerz if they want the domination. That's a great kill onto Danny. Crack, though, will finish him off. But again, even though that fight is won from Rebel, they're surviving, not thriving. And now eUnited is getting that much closer to winning this map.
I like that. Surviving, not thriving. But only time will tell here late into this game how long they're going to survive on this map. As eUnited looking like they're setting up defensively. You see Xplosive getting in position down low towards Statue. You see the reinforcements going off of respawn as Powerz trying to get into the perfect spot. He's going to help Praized here in a 2v2 on the home hill. There needs to be a double neutralization coming out out from Rebel. Danny gets down. Rebel gets taken out as Demon falls as well. The hopes and dreams of this squad are going right out the window, and we might be blessed with another map number 3.
Absolutely. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. I did not want to see a 2-0 between these great teams. I wanted to see a map number 3, and it's going to be a fun one. We have Vasgar coming up, and let me tell you, both teams so well versed on this map 3 that it literally is a toss-up. Much like, you know, the F and I Rise matchup. There's been so many toss-ups tonight. I have no idea who's going to win, but eUnited stays alive. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Gears Pro League Split 2 Phase 1 Day 2. We are now heading into a map number 3. This is our third map number 3 of tonight, and it has been a wonderful night, to say the least. eUnited and Rebel continue to battle tooth and nail, and, you know, District was kind of a blowout, right? Rebel just absolutely outclassed EU on that map. But come Foundation, though, Rebel's map pick, it seems as if eUnited woke up, and wake up, man, they look so good, even though the rounds were close, and they were able to win 5-3. So that leads us heading into Vasgar, another toss-up map between these two wonderful teams. But Jacob, break it down for me further, man. I mean, look, Rebel, even though they lose 5-3, it's like they were in every single round. It was not easy at all for eUnited.
It just seems right now that these close maps that don't allow for too many players to sneak by. I told you the difference between District and Foundation. Players sneaking by, players getting caught off guard on this one. There's a lot of Lancer play on both maps, but that is the biggest difference. And eUnited completely took advantage of multiple scenarios just like that, using these extra covers to quickly maneuver around the map. So now coming into this one, you have to put the big question mark on which version of each team we will see here in this series. We've already seen Fire and Ice for Latin America really complete the comeback, and that's one thing for certain. This Latin American powerhouse teams throughout the last couple of splits have really been showing up and showing out like never before. And honestly, this is an opportunity for Rebel to not only take out this team in eUnited, his historic roster, but this is them to go ahead and complete the sweep, both FNI and Rebel, to take out the former dominant squads in the space.
Well, and more importantly, too, to kind of break that 0-1 record, right? You don't want to be 0-2 in the first week of Pro League, right? You definitely don't. So at this point in time, both teams, they respect each other, they understand, but I think they both have something to prove. Again, they did not want to be starting off with a loss, and they definitely don't want to be starting off with 2 losses in back-to-back days. So this map number 3 is going to mean a lot, and I guarantee you it is going to be a bloodbath, and it is going to go down to a round 9. But hey, who's the favorite one going into it? I honestly don't know. I really don't, you know, because going back in the past, eUnited is just historically has been a great Vascar team. At one point, they were one of the strongest Vascar teams, right? It's kind of evened out, though, over time. But then you look at Rebel, and they have Identivez on that roster, which, of course, Identivez is a great Vascar player. He's going to know how to lead the troops because Pittsburgh Knights was a great Vascar team. But then you pair that with Demon, right? You come in with Crack and Kardia, and you have a lot of experience and a lot of well-versed members on Vascar. So, Jacob, who has the advantage here, or is it truly a 50-50 toss-up?
I'm literally listening to you speak and trying to process everything, because I'm thinking that same thing. I knew that question was coming, and I'm trying to think who. I think each of these teams have a strength on this map for different reasons. I think the close quarters combat fight really suits Rebel, being able to get in there as a full squad, shoddy fight after shoddy fight. My only question mark, and I think it suits eUnited, is how this map plays on rotations. Round and round it goes. Nobody knows where it'll end up, but eUnited here towards the very end, as I think they're going to be the ones leading the charge in some of these situations.
All right, here we are, map number 3, and I already see the love in chat. You guys are getting crazy, and I love it. eUnited being represented well, Rebel being represented well, and I would expect no less from these two great organizations. Demon, though, looking to get that early poke. He's going to go and back up, but right back into the fold, though, as it looks as if Xplosive is going to have to push into him, and Demon will be outclassed and drops down. So great start for eUnited. They get control of Bravo. They also have Charlie. Now, you do also have a mid battle taking place in player 4. He doesn't want that 2v1 Crack. He's going to go to back up.
Great start for eUnited early on. Praized like a dead man here, able to get that trade. I don't know how he got that trade. Crack goes down as well. I don't know who's in position to get the revive. Nobody, as Powerz cleans that one up. This is not looking good for Rebel to start off map number 3. Powerz lands a brick of a shot. He's gonna get reinforcements as well. The final blow coming through. Luckily for them, there's a player on the other side of the map in Demon prolonging this one, keeping it going, as well as that being Rebel spawn side of the map. So they're gonna have a couple of seconds with that spawn shield to go ahead and right back up into the field, and even that man advantage as this player spawns up.
Still very close, much like the map just before this. Rebel now retaking control. Big 1v1 though onto the other side of Bravo. That's going to be between Praized and I believe Demon. And now with Xplosive joining into the mix, it's also going to be a 2v2. So United already quickly getting that break. Demon needs to get up there onto Praized, but first shot's going to be there. Praized will drop. Demon is going to get the cleanup onto him, but on the other side though, there's going to be another trade. So now it's Demon in another 1v1 versus Xplosive. Great movement, takes him down. And Bravo will go to the hands of Rebel. Now the fight on Charlie means a lot more than it did before. eUnited, they've got to stay here.
Let's say Identivez needs to be careful. He gets down on the other side of that one. Powerz getting some kills. Kenny looking for the cleanup, but I almost want to see him leave him down, but rightfully so. You don't know who's rotating around the map to get that revive so close to your spawn. That'll easily turn the tides as Kenny pushes on up, spots Kardia out, sets his eyes on the next target. Demon gets taken out towards the neutral. Kenny not slowing down just yet, but needs to be careful. Reinforcements are coming through from Rebel. That is their side of the map as this is the second round.
Right, Kenny. Big fight now, 1v2. Taken down. This is it was almost an impossible task for him to win that engagement. Praise though against Danny. Danny forced to back up. He should drop soon, I don't know, but Crack is going to find a way to get behind Praise there. Praise full red. He drops off. Rebel takes a critical hill in a critical moment. Alpha and Charlie locked in place. Now this 1v1 between Demon, once again, he's always finding himself in these tough situations, but he's a Slayer you want to be there. But Powerz will win that fight. But Rebel still the 2-1 hill advantage, and I don't know if United's going to be able to get a break, but they do have the spawn on their side. Can they get this break on C?
They just need to be careful traveling through the spawn. These chain revives are going to be huge, but they need to start getting some offense. Quick kills coming through. They need the capture or a decap on A. Kardia going big. He's able to get one. He gets the capture late in the game. The win condition doesn't go over though. How long do they have? And they don't have enough time as Rebel late into this one squeaks by to steal that round right back away from United.
We talked about that toss-up, right? That 50-50 down the line, and you can already see that represented in round 1. How close was that? eUnited just a hair away from flipping the script, taking the win condition back in their hands. But hey, sometimes you are a day late and a dollar short. So round 1 will go to Rebel. Very well done indeed. And for Demon, though, again, to highlight him in those 1v1s, man, he's doing his best. But sometimes, at least at a certain point, he's going to have to win those fights because he's losing more than he's winning. But that's only one round, so let me not get too carried away. But, of course, we'll see those Botox placed down. I know he's hovering center line. Guys, don't get too excited.
He got me. I won't even lie. I was saying, he definitely got me there with that one. I was shaking my head like, wait, what am I seeing right here? He probably just had his controller in his lap, drying his hands off, sweaty as can be. Because this match is just heating up, and they heated up early on. And this being a map number 3, already going down to the wire, shows how evenly matched of some sorts these teams are. I said they both had strengths for different reasons going into this one.
Okay, Xplosive and Praise getting aggressive. Danny will fall. That's going to be a big pickup. They'll go up steps, take him down. And for his other teammate, yeah, Kardia, he's going to dip out. But he's going to have to fight him eventually. And a Lancer Fire is going to help for the time being. Utility out, but he's just trying to get as much distance as possible. He's getting Lancer from mid. Just tough spot. He's not going to get out of that alive. So, Rebel will at least lose the 2-1 hill advantage, but for eUnited, they're not going to slow down. Look at their aggression, man. They are wolfpacking together, and it's going to be a tough spot for Rebel, I would say, but Danny evens up the odds. Now 1v1, full red, and he's going to drop off. So eUnited, there you go. They take it. They're going for the domination. But player 5, he'll get that touch on B. You think, baby? Hold on. Oh, he took a little bit too long of a line there. He could have went straight, but he tried to dip and dodge to the right. I don't know. 1-1. eUnited ties it up.
I wish I could see the exact route he took from the moment he spawned up to there, because if he took one too many up A's, that is the reason why he might not have made it there in time. Because in the past, you get that speed boost from upping around corners, but I don't think you get that speed boost anymore. You're gonna have to change up your muscle memory if you're looking to adapt. Because like I said, if you take maybe 1 or 2 less up A's, that round is still going.
100%. Well, hey, look, Rebel, they're not going to complain, all right? They took that victory. They tied up 1-1, and I think they got away with robbery, if I'm being quite honest with you. But well done. Retro's now on the board. See how much that's going to play an impact. Great map to Retro out, and could absolutely help in these engagements. We'll still see this fight on to Charlie. It's kind of been going both ways. Danny, though, is going to get the early drop on the one, but eventually lose his life in return. Xplosive picks him off with the help of Kenny. That's going to force Demon back. So eUnited, another great initial.
You see them not wasting any time, realizing this is the other team spawn. This is Rebel spawn they're charging into. So that player that they eliminated early on can easily bite them in the back if they take too long. And yes, they immediately took too long, so they're gonna have to reassess the situation. No longer going for a triple cap domination, but instead trying to hold on defensively. Well-placed flash, gonna force some members back. Danny gets taken out. It's actually the Retro dealing a ton of damage. Demon's gonna sacrifice his life for Identivez, but I don't know how much that's gonna pay off. Identivez really backing people down, but unfortunately his time comes to an end as Xplosive takes him out. Triple cap domination sounding off for just a short moment. We're gonna have to see this player in crack try to prolong this round. Him and Kardia do it together. They're trailing roughly 60 points, already doubled up by eUnited. They have to get some information. They have to figure out a way to start winning these fights as Danny goes down as well.
Yeah, when you have a deficit like that on when it comes to Vascar, it's just so hard to come back from, because you have to assume, and always keep in the back of your mind, that there's going to be someone, some straggler or some duo that's going to be rotating around. So as soon as you take over a hill, the enemy team is already recapping another, right? And it's so hard to be everywhere at one point in time. And this deficit's just going to be almost impossible for Rebel to come back from. And I got to say, eUnited is playing very well when it comes to getting the trades and picking up those critical kills. This battle for B, though, is going to be big and a starting point for Rebel. And it looks as if Rebel will take B, or at least hold on to it. And they're also going to be able to take A. Now, I say impossible. I hope I'm not eating my words here. Player 3 is going to be rotating over to Charlie, but eUnited is going to be coming up the respawn. So I think this is going to come down to basically a single hill for eUnited.
You already see Praized trying to backtrack. He got some damage put on him, trying to get that flash. Danny has those spawners behind him. He needs to be careful. He needs to somehow stay alive. There's still 10 seconds left to get the break. That's more than enough time if the defense is there, or the offense, I should say. Danny goes down once more. Demon steps into the hill. Decap coming through. It is going to be solidified, but they have a long way to go. They can't get eliminated, but both Demon and Kardia do go down. Danny falls as well, and that will be the last member left. All the hopes and dreams into this round going over towards eUnited as they hold off, and they hold off strong to take that 2-1 advantage and win consecutive rounds here on our tiebreaker map.
Hey, round 2 was easy, right? I mean, that was a solid round overall. But whenever it came down to that round right there, just like round 1, down to the wire, phenomenal stuff. It's a battle through and through. Loving what I'm watching. And imagine if Rebel kind of takes the reins a little bit earlier. They don't wait until the last second. Would they be able to take that round? It's absolutely possible. But well done. United now will chain together 2 rounds, and they take that 2-1 lead. And Rebel's going to have to figure out, what do we do? What seems like the shock might be the answer. No, the Bull Talk, excuse me. They got to upgrade to that. So shock on one end, and then on the other end, you have a little bit more utility. What do you think about that?
I like it on the side of Rebel if they can outlast when that shock grenade is used. They can't be afraid to give it up and retake it with both the Bolt Talk and the Retro Lancer. But it's going to be one player trying to backtrack, make sure he has the Bolt Talk that is going to be cracked. So already looking dangerous for the side of Rebel. People not getting in a position in time. As you see, United already striking first, getting that first blood.
All right. First blood, and also they get that 2-1 hill advantage. With the death of Demon, they're going to be able to solidify that. So well done. Now back to the drawing board. Rebel goes to play catch up once again, and it looks as if maybe they're going to allocate their resources over towards Alpha. I think that's going to be the play to the last round of the first half. United has a very real chance to take a 3-1 lead. That'll be hugely positive for them. Praized is going to have some company soon by the name of Kardia and Demon. And that Lancer Fire is going to help for the most part. So if Praized can hold his own on tank, that's going to be a huge momentum boost for eUnited to take a even more lead than they already have. But we also have a 2v2 on Alpha as well. So really watch that mini-map, guys, and pay attention to it, because a lot of moving pieces and a lot can change here.
I said they have to be able to dodge that shock grenade. They don't dodge it on the other side of the map. Danny gets taken out, but Demon, once again, usually when he gets left by himself, he's coming out on top. I would love to see the percentage of 1v1s won, but percentage is not going to be the same for Crack as Powerz takes him out early on. eUnited quickly making these moves. Every time it looks like Rebel is getting a one-step advantage, eUnited takes 2, maybe 3 steps ahead of that.
All right, Praized looking down baby steps as Demon looks to pressure in onto him. eUnited, though, again, playing that rotational game, right? Staying one step ahead of the Rebel boys. Either way, Demon's going to give it a great go and should be beneficial here as Praized does drop off. Crack, though, is going to be pressured hard. Danny's going to be there for the cleanup. So now Rebel starting to slowly come back. But again, did they wait too long? Are they putting themselves in the same losing position that they were in the last round? They might not be. That's 3 down. So at this point in time, player A coming off that respawn, he's got to get up to A, but he's got to go through Demon as well as Kardia. He gets the touch, though.
That's going to be 2 quick kills coming through and a triple cap domination to follow as we end the half 2-2, a third and final tiebreaker map. Honestly, didn't expect us really to get this far, but man, thank you to Rebel. Thank you to eUnited for putting on a show in our Pro League debut. This is day number 2, and this is really setting us up for what could be a fantastic split unlike any other.
All right, so what do we got now, right? Kind of a bit of a risk having the retro and the bull talk as opposed to the shock on the other end. But that retro might go to the shock, so now they're going to be evened up a little bit, and I assume now we're going to get that bull talk on the opposite end, even up the odds a little bit. Yes, they will. So 2-2 again, round 9. Push the button. That's where we're going, Jacob, and I think both of us know this, and everybody else out there. But with that hill now no longer being over on tank and now being on F, it opens up the playing field a little bit more, right? And I always love watching this fight because it's unique, and sometimes it's really hard to hold on to that hill. And for player 5, Kardia, he's about to have his hands full. Look at how many eUnited members are about to pressure into him.
But what is eUnited doing? They're taking so long to overextend to try to get that hill, but maybe they're just waiting for that right moment. As you see, players are backtracking to hold defense. Another player in Praise trying to make sure they get that decap, because as this hill's getting decapped by Rebel, it's not looking good. Multiple shocks being placed around. Danny goes down, though. It's not looking good. I would like to see which one of those 2 shocks was placed by Rebel, but they're getting Lantern in the back, funneled out. Kenny waiting over the top to put that kill blow on one of those 2 players. Crack making something out of nothing, trying to keep himself and his team alive here in this one, but he's finally going to get taken out as eUnited looking like they're holding on strong, but they're losing another hill. None of the points are going their way, but the kills are.
Rebel in control, 2-1 hill advantage. That keeps the lead, and now they'll continue to gain that lead that they were able to occur in the beginning. Now for eUnited, they're going to be all over E, and it's just going to be tough for Rebel to hold on to that. I say that they're lancering out fairly well, so maybe their neutral position is going to help. They're going to go ahead and take the odds into their own hands. Xplosive, though, trying to keep that tight angle. Demon and Danny looking to push them back, and they'll be successful. Now Powerz up close. He can be able to get it. Yes, he will. So Danny falls. Demon now, not a lot he can do, but from the flank, though, it's going to be one. That's Crack. Demon now is going to be pressuring into Powerz. Demon going for the 1v1. Powerz trying to keep him at bay. He's red. He's just trying to get his health line back if he can, and he's going to be successful in doing so. Major battle going down. Now, granted, the scoreline is still very close. There's a lot more round to be played, but it's just these little battles that take place, and really, it can change and shift the momentum in your favor, but it's still going. These 2 guys, they refuse to give up.
I need to see that replayed right now. And I know there are no eliminations come from that, but Demon played that one to perfection. Having a shoddy battle with Powerz over the cover, getting the decap, and then backtracking at the perfect moment his teammates were off of respawn here. Even though they don't have the hill in their control just yet, they're doing a good job of fighting over it. Finally, the decap's going to come through. 2 split 1v1s. You know how Demon plays in these 1v1s, especially against this eUnited roster in this series so far, forcing Powerz back, but triple cap sounding off. Powerz gets taken out, but are they going to be able to touch the hill? No, they are not, and Rebel gets stuck on. That was almost a Mr. Krabs of sorts.
It almost was, but it wasn't. So good on eUnited to maintain that lead. 3-2, so close. Again, back and forth we go. Great game for Power and Xplosive, though. 14-8. Of course, the other one, 14 kills to his name as well. And still no power weapons. Look, both teams, they don't like the power weapons, it seems, right? We haven't really seen it to this point. District saw a drop shot, right? But I mean, going back to Foundation with the scoreline as close as it was, even if one took the lead, the other one was like, I don't want to give up any advantage, right, to the enemy team. They understand how important each power weapon is, but more importantly, like how important the shock is and to match the retro, right? It's just too much to give. It's too much leeway. So keeping everything as even as possible is the best play. eUnited has a chance to take the lead here 4-2, but Rebel, I assume, is going to answer back.
I want to see where these retro players take that retro and begin to put it to use. Number 7 in Powerz versus, I do believe, number 4 in Crack. Powerz is trying to go for that 1v1 scenario. Crack has an opportunity to take this 4v3 with the rest of his team. Getting first blood on Praized is going to be huge. If they can solidify the rest of these eliminations without dying, it doesn't matter where Powerz goes, but Xplosive saves the day, saving Kenny, getting a double kill. So everything I was talking about, what Rebel was doing right, went completely sideways and into United's favor.
And now you got Demon being pressured on, but he's looking to pull off a big play himself. Beautiful shots on the Xplosive, but can't get the final shot in the end. But answered quickly back by Crack. So even though Demon falls short, Crack is there to pick up the slack. Now, eUnited, they're going to go ahead and give up F. Rebel's going to take control of that. Now, where does eUnited rotate after this? Looks as if maybe they're going to allocate their resources over for Delta. Now, for players 3 and 2, Demon and Danny, they're going to hold down their ground and try and stop Powerz and Praized from pushing in. This is going to be a big hold for them. Rebel, they got to close out this deficit.
An opportunity here for Rebel, talking about closing out the deficit, but get a big lead as well. Gonna take a long respawn timers if they win this one convincingly. Praized with a well-placed flash, trying to take the cover. He gets body blocked by Powerz. Both of these players get taken out. Kenny a little late to the mix, trying to rotate through the middle, getting caught out of positioning, meets the same demise as his teammates prior. The death blows continue to be staggered on the side of eUnited. This is Rebel's chance to tie it up here, 3 rounds apiece. It starts with Crack, and it starts with that elimination there.
Absolutely, so close, still looking so good. Kardia from the corner takes down Powerz. Well done. Now Danny's going to be able to pressure forward, and that snub is going to help. Praized, he gets dropped off. Great teamwork overall, and now this hill is definitely going to go to them. You'd have to assume, unless the United can get a break here still, though, they're not out of the woodwork just yet. Kardia's there for the cleanup. Xplosive tries to roll in. Kardia is going to get chunked. Demons, though, on the flank. eUnited everywhere they look. There is a Rebel member ready to take them down. Xplosive now trying to gain some distance, get that spacing in, but he's getting pressured. He's chunked. Praized is also there. He's going to get a chunk to Crack. He's going to get chunked in his end. There is literally body parts flying everywhere, but Rebel has such a decent lead that eUnited at this point has to play flawless if they want to take this win.
I would say you basically got to eliminate them twice. By the time you get to the home mill, just like you saw, these players would have been respawn back up, ready to fight another round against eUnited. They can't do it twice late into the game, so Rebel looking like they're going to be able to hold on here, tie this one up 3 rounds apiece. And I'll go ahead and say it again. We've been gifted a treat in Gears Esports for this matchup. We saw one hell of a matchup between eUnited and Hive yesterday, and we see another one here right in front of us between eUnited and Rebel. And I got to give you guys, I got to give you props, right? At least got to give Blaze props, I should say, for even thinking Rebel stood a chance in this one.
Yeah. Hey, look. It is what it is. At this point in time, man, things are looking pretty neck and neck. You know, and again, we knew this was going to be a toss-up, knew it was going to be a 50-50, and I say press the easy button, send it to round 9, because that's where we are going. We already know how the story is going to unfold. But this next round is important, right? To be able to lead up 4-3, put yourself at match point, series point, but more importantly, be the one to use your disable. It's probably going to be answered back, but there is a slight chance that a disable comes out and maybe the enemy team, you know, just blunders it. They don't use their disable, and then now you have a huge advantage. So every advantage absolutely counts. Incense, shocks, they're on the map. Those are going to play a key point, especially for taking over these hills. It comes down to F once again. For player 2, though, is going to take that advanced position onto tank, and EU is not going to let him live rent-free. Demon, he does get away, and that is a big waste. The instant's gone in the shock as well.
Talk about a big ways. Praise even stuck. Oh my God, looking like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl there for a moment. Connects with a touchdown on Praise. This is the opening Rebel needs. They need to catch the next player off guard in Xplosive. That one's complete. Can he back it up knowing that his demise is right before him as Rebel continues to push up, but knowing their win conditioning, knowing exactly what they need to do, they're going to backtrack. They don't want to have to eliminate these players again. Like I said, by the time they get there and begin that fight, those players they just killed will be respawned right back up into the mix. So that's real great plays for Rebel to rotate around the map and not get too aggressive, not get greedy.
And it's going to be a big stop as well. Right now, they're going to be able to accrue that lead, and man, it's absolutely possible. But at this point, man, it's just eUnited is constantly pushing back. It's like an accordion, man. It's just going back and forth, and you never know who's going to win each fight. In this case, though, Kenny is standing down, 10 toes down. He wins one fight, goes in onto Kardia, full red, gets the chunk. Kenny is pulling off some superstar moves, and now he's moving into F, and that is the Kenny we need to see.
Yep. They need to be careful, though, here. This is where I almost want to see them try to backtrack. You know, these players, especially since you see these players spawning up and going directly over to the other side of the map. Now you have to play defense because you know you're not going to sneak past Kardia. He's going to see everything, whether you go in the middle or whether you continue forward. But if you look, they still have 2 members over there. It does look like eUnited is going to go for that neutral while simultaneously defending their home.
It's going to be a big hold. Rebel, though, pushing through. Kenny will drop. Crack is going to be there. Xplosive is looking to get it out or out-angle Crack for Danny if he can. Big shot. Danny takes him down. Good hold for Rebel, but they are losing E at the same time. Again, Vascar, it's like a fishbowl, man. You're just constantly rotating, trying to take objective after objective, and that's exactly what we are seeing. Just as soon as eUnited takes a 2-to-1 hill advantage, all of a sudden you have player 2 from Rebel who's going to be onto F. Now you also have the battle taking place onto D. There's just so much going on, and you have to stay in the game. Keep your head in the game. Time in and time out. It really is a mental battle. And Demon, though, is going to get the kill onto Powerz and slowly start to push his way up onto Kenny.
I did see 2 shot grenades, not 1, but 2 shot grenades being picked up by eUnited late in the game. That is going to be detrimental on the side of Rebel. First shot going out. He's just trying to preemptively throw it. That way, no break can even come through. Kardia gets taken out. Praized takes a ton of damage, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He actually does go down. That's going to be a break opportunity for Crack. He needs to go forward, though. Xplosive waiting for that perfect moment, even getting the revive. This is looking lights out in this round as a trade comes through from Crack. No one in position to break either one of these 2 hills. So late into this one, eUnited holds on strong and goes on series point. If I'm Burns or that social media crew right now, I'm shaking a little bit. This match has me stressed beyond belief, and my prediction is on the line. This isn't even my team. It's just my prediction.
Hey, look, I'm not losing to a Magic 8 Ball. All right, it's just not going to happen. Magic 8 Ball went with Rebel. I don't know what that Magic 8 Ball was thinking. But listen, eUnited has a very real chance now. Now the disables come out. Again, we knew they were going to take place. Rebel has to answer back with a disable of their own. So we are going to play this round number 8 without any of the shocks, which, by the way, those shocks have played a tremendous impact. We're going to have to do it with instants. Now it comes down to just, you know, instant kill potential with the instants, but of course, straight gun skill. And even though eUnited has the lead, I really don't know who has the advantage. I can't say. I really cannot say. Even chat go back and forth with the Rebel love and eUnited love. But this is a big round for Rebel, and this is not where you need to get shaky hands.
That's the first time I see both Powerz and Kardia flirting with the idea to run through middle. Neither player wanting to get caught off guard, wanting to get taken advantage of. First blood going over to eUnited, though, it's Crack. Does get taken down, even up by Praized here for a moment. A flank opportunity if Kardia does want to take it, though, taking his time, not wanting to get Lancered in the back. 1v1 on each side of the map, though. This is so evenly matched, even down to each individual fight.
Ooh, Kenny chunked in the end. Demon picks up a big elimination. On the other side, though, Powerz picks up a big one of his own, taking down Kardia. Notice the scoreline still very close. No one's been able to get on this neutral, but I will say Powerz is chomping at the bit. He wants to push through, and it looks like eUnited is going to be the first team to take the neutral. But on the other end, Rebel is already taking control of of F, and, well, they're going to get it, but now eUnited is there. Oh, player 9's got to push back. He wanted to go for it. Kenny did, but he knew it was just a losing battle.
Hey, hold on. Hold on. What is this character that I see in front of me? Go back. Go back. Let's watch Kenny in this character. Hold on. This is the first time I'm seeing this. See what Kenny can do with this shiny new character. Xplosive gets double down. Finally taken out. Gets it down on 1. That's going to be a big down. Gets the elimination on Crack. Danny did get back up. Kenny has some help there towards the back end. He doesn't need to be over aggressive. Danny finds his way out. eUnited wanting to get this break first before solidifying the kill on 200 IQ, but Danny not wasting any time. Melee's Kenny. The character won't help him for long. Don't really know where his teammate went. I thought he had a teammate there.
Well, apparently not, but I'll tell you what, Kenny may be looking stylish, but he was putting off some great plays as well. So he's doing a little bit of both, man. You love to see it, rocking out those new skins. And Crack, though, big fight. Oh, rolling into the corner now. You got to get away. He manages to get a nice little shot onto one, but in the end, Powerz will get the best of them. eUnited losing control. Well, actually, we're almost neck and neck. I say losing control. What am I talking about? They had E, but it is going to be neutralized, put into the blender as Demon, and E is now going to go back into the hands of eUnited. But of course, as Vascar works, look at player 3, already looking to lock in F.
Yeah, this is just a constant game of tug of war. In no way, shape, or form can you be caught slipping. Both these teams are playing at the highest level right now, something that we've been given, like I said, the treat to witness this early on in the season. Praized narrowly escaping there. The hill being traded over on the other side of the map, though. That's going to be Demon in a 1v2 situation. We know what he can do in 1v1s. Not the same there in a 2v1 situation as Kenny takes him out. They need this capture, though. They trail points. Crack falls as well. This late in the game is not good.
This is getting absolutely crazy, man. eUnited now takes the 2-1 hill advantage. Player 3 is going to get the break, though. Danny knows he needs to lock it in for his team, but player 8 is already going to be on F. Player 2 in a 1v1 now. He's going to drop off. I think eUnited just took the round. I think they just took the series. I don't know if Rebel's going to be able to answer back, but they are getting the breaks, but eUnited is answering right back, Jacob.
That one's gonna be it. That kill on Powerz. Danny needed to get that kill with the instant. That way he can keep going right after. But hats off to eUnited to hold on to this one and take the series 2-1, 5-3, being map number 3.
Beautiful series, man. I mean, seriously, battle of attrition through and through, and it really was a phenomenal series to watch. But in the end, eUnited is the superior team. I say that very respectfully. Rebel was in it till the very end, and it could have went either which way. Both teams showing strong suits, both teams showing some negatives, but man, you couldn't ask for a better series to close out the Gears Pro League Split 2 Phase 1, day number 2. That was a real treat to watch, Jacob.
No, it definitely was. It had me at the edge of my seat almost every single portion. Going into this one, I honestly, with my predictions, didn't think we were going to have too much of an exciting day. You got to give hats off to a lot of these teams, a lot of these underdogs to really showing up when it matters most. And like I said, that's awesome to see within Gears Esports. You even see the orgs coming in, supporting even teams that aren't even their own. You see Knights coming in, throwing a match that's not even theirs. You see players coming in, posting a chat ever before. And that's exactly what I want to keep seeing out from not only the players, the fans, and these organizations as well, is to keep supporting the scene when these matches are on.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, look, you know, Pittsburgh Knights has been in chat the whole night. Noble's been out there for the whole night. VQ popped in. You know, Rebel, of course. Man, I got to say, for eUnited, they've just been crazy. They've been out there supporting. They did that for day 1. They now did it for day number 2. So you love the fact that they're now representing, or they know the value, and just they have fun with it, but they're also not going to let their team be alone. They're always going to be in their corner. Well done, man. Again, seriously, just like the last series between F&I and Rise, I take nothing away from the loser. I take nothing away from Rebel. I really don't. This series could have went either which way. We saw them win a huge map on District. That comes to show you just how strong they are on that map versus the best of the best in the world. And I gotta say, Rebel, even though they're 0-2 when it comes to the overall Pro League standings, again, I think he's just going to light the fire, for Identivez, man, and he's going to be respectful. He's going to say, hey, GG, you're the better team once again. But Rebel is a team that, come next week, whoever they have to play against, I might have to bet for them. I might have to be in their corner because they're a team that you can't take lightly in any circumstance.
Yeah, this season is getting much harder to predict some of these matchups, especially a matchup like this. Yeah, United versus Rebel. I know Blaze is probably kicking himself over that one, but Blaze has been one of those guys, no matter in Gears of War 4 when we had that all-star game, or we talk about predictions, he always seems to find a way to come out on top and get these sneaky picks out from under us. Luckily for the rest of us casters, he doesn't get this victory over us, so that first place finish, I don't know how well he's going to be able to hold on after the series.
Well, we'll definitely find out, man. They're saying, look, it's only day 2. There's still a lot to go around. I think I am in first place. Very proud of that. It's a historic moment, ladies and gentlemen. It's literally never happened. So I'm going to hold on to the top portion as much as I possibly can. And for the 8 ball, hey, we are victorious. I just want to point that out, by the way. I think me and Tom, Darth Meerkat, the observer, I think we actually are tied at this point in time. So, Hey, shout out to the spectator. He knows what he's doing. Hey, it's been a great day, though. It truly has. So many great series overall. And I got to say, man, I've had a really good time. And at least for the results today, whether they be for the main broadcasted channel or the side station, I had a great time kind of seeing the teams come through. We witnessed Elevate and Remedy. For Remedy, though, I mean, look, 2-1, they take a map off of this team. That's a great success.
Yep, on the top side of things, you see Knights after that loss yesterday, getting upset, striking back 2-0. To me, in my opinion, it's the easier competition, but these are those must wins against those easier competitions. That way, when it becomes a toss up against these harder competition, you can almost afford kind of lose that game. But Vanquish losing to Noble is pretty big in my book. But overall, both Fire and Ice and eUnited giving us a treat here today. 3 straight maps, 3 of the most intense maps I've seen in a long time. So I'm proud to have been a part of this one.
And I do want to point out, by the way, VQ does lose 2-0 to Noble. And again, that comes to show you VQ might not be as strong as the last split. I'm always in your corner of cells. Much respect to all the pros out there. But Noble is a team that is not to play around with, much like in split number 1. So very well done on their part for getting that 2-0 victory. Fire and Ice, of course, versus Rise. Huh?
That was Reptilian's Revenge, too.
Yeah, exactly. And see, that's the thing about this split. Not only is the competition so close, but there's so many storylines, right? There's so many storylines that wouldn't have been there if it was 5v5, right? A lot of these rosters would have stayed the same, but because 4v4, of course, you have to make roster change to no fault of their own. It's just arbitrary. It is what it is. I got to say, man, things are shaping up quite well. But these results were crazy. Some upsets here and there, some close rounds, but I have really enjoyed how today unfolded, and even yesterday too, man. Blaze and Colin did such a great job casting that. You guys were out there supporting through and through. But I don't know. I mean, if you had to take a pick, biggest surprise of this week, what would it be?
I'm just trying to think out of the top of my head. I almost want to go Hive. Hive has shown that they take this game serious. Those elo aids, the shotties, the wagers, no matter what it is, this team has been practicing, whether you guys like it or not, no matter how you view it. If you can see how the games are playing out, it is shoddy heavy. So even though you might look at those elo aids and those wagers, they're practicing for those situations, those 1v2s, those 2v2s. That is going to be one of my biggest surprises this week. I had them high as number 2, but like I said, to go undefeated and start off this split hot, that's gonna be a congratulations from me. I'm glad I can finally match up my analyst predictions with my fandom for Noe.
For me, it's got to be Elevate. Elevate started off much stronger than I thought, coming out, beating Rebel, of course, earlier, just beating Remedy. Like, those are some big wins. Remedy, say what you will about them, even though I don't think they've got a win as of yet. They have taken maps off of teams that you wouldn't expect them to. They're a team I expect to get better very, very quickly. Matter of fact, I want to see our standings so I can talk a little bit more about this. I want to see who's at the top, who's at the bottom. So for Noble, Elevate, FNI, and Hive, all sitting at 2-0. So very well done from them. Obviously, Noble at the top, they have 100% map win rate. So well done for them. Of course, Elevate, FNI, Hive, they'll all be tied despite the win-loss record being the same, but map win percentage all at 80%. So for Noble, hey, they're leading the charge. And again, that's another surprise for me. I didn't expect Noble to be as strong as they are. But as it does drop off for PK 2-1, they're up. They're much better standings than, of course, from day number 1. But man, it gets tough from 9 to 12, 0-12, or 0-2, and 0-3-2 for Remedy.
It just sucks for one of those teams in Rebel, like we were just spoken about, like we just witnessed. Much better than it shows, much better than your 0-2 record shows. On the bottom half, though, Rated R, Team Queso, and Remedy. As we go ahead, I don't want to say the off break as we lead up into next week's matches, I want to go ahead and quiz the chat. Who's getting their first win? Who's going to be the first team out of those 3 to get one on the board?
I mean, it's hard to tell. You even saw Remedy, right, being at 0-3. They've had more matches, but they have that 33% win rate whenever it comes, or not win rate, excuse me, but their map win percentage, right? So that comes to show you they are leading the charge when it comes down to the bottom echelon teams. And, a lot of people would have counted them out. They're not represented by an org. They're just known as Remedy. But hey, they're still there and they're still doing very well. It's been a great day overall, but of course the Pro League will continue next week, and I want to see the schedule that we're rocking with then. And man, it's going to start off hot. VQ versus Team Queso. They'll make their return, and I can't wait to see if they improved from this week. Elevate, Fire, and ISO face off. PK versus Noble, and then we'll finish it off with Rise and Rebel. Now you ask, who would get the first victory? Well, Rebel might be able to secure that, but Rise is looking solid as well. It's just going to be a fun week back for PL.
Yeah, that's the match I'm definitely looking forward to, especially after what you've seen the old historic team in eUnited go up against Rebel. I'm seeing how Rise can play against them. They did take a heartbreaking loss today against FNI, but how good is this team? How great is their composure, their coaching staff, and what are they really made of going up against that Rebel squad? But we do have some side station matches, don't we? I don't know if we have a graphic for that. I'm a little bit ahead of myself, but we do have some side station matches. Make sure you guys go to play.gearsofwar.com in order to check those out. I know I'm going to be looking over those matches. I need to see the schedule and who's playing who, so that way when I look at the power rankings, I can kind of see, because obviously the difficulty of matches is going to be different week to week. The keys to victory, what they should be practicing on, what their focus is for that week should change up just a little bit. So I expect to see some changes, some drastic, some not, to my power rankings list after week 1.
We'll definitely find out. And I can't wait to see your power rankings too. Like I said, I looked at a document, incredibly in depth, loved reading it. Hey guys, Gears Pro League may be over for this week. Of course, it returns next week, but that doesn't mean the Gears action is going to stop. We still have Emergence Days tomorrow. It's going to be coming at you hot. And look, I think that starts at 5 Eastern time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, you get to see the best of the best face off against each other. And it's just a great time, man. It's a great time to see who ends up on top. And it really is a good snapshot to see how Pro League is going to start back up the very next week. After all, it gave me the insight Hive was going to get that victory over eUnited. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm really not. I'm just telling you, if you want to have a leg up and earn some more channel points when it comes to Pro League next week, maybe you went a little bit broke this week with some upsets, not mentioning any matches, Elevate and Rebel. If you want to make some more money or when it comes to the points, hey, come by for E-Days tomorrow, 5 Eastern. It's going to be a ton of fun. Jacob, it's been a great day. I'll leave you for your final words.
Man, I'm just happy to be a part of this. Like I said, I'm waiting for that Tuesday match between Rise versus Rebel. But I got as an analyst, as a caster, I got a ton of footage, a ton of rounds, a ton of maps to look over after this intense week. Thank you guys. Thank everyone for coming in and joining us for week number 1 of our Gears Pro League. Another split to be excited for, and a lot of opportunity, because these teams, man, I didn't expect today for happen, so I don't know what I'm in store for next week.
Hey, it's going to be even better. I assume the competition's going to get better and better as we go along. Thank you guys for being here. We really do appreciate it. Again, hit that follow button if you haven't already. We loved having you. For myself, Taylor Reflections, Noble, Jacob, MVPR, our production team, and y'all you guys out there in the chat, we loved having you, and I hope to see you guys again for Emergence Days tomorrow at 5 Eastern.